Every day, life shows up with or without your permission. It doesn't pause to ask if you're ready. It doesn't check whether you're tired, unsure, or stuck in your head. It keeps moving, and if you want to grow, succeed, or feel truly alive, you've got to move with it. Now here's the truth. Progress isn't about making massive leaps. It's not about showing off or proving anything to others. It's about making sure you're just a little further today than you were yesterday. That's it. Small steps taken consistently are what build unshakable results over time. The problem is most people are waiting for motivation to show up, waiting for the perfect time, waiting to feel more confident, more prepared, more ready. But waiting is a trap. Motivation is unpredictable. The right time is an illusion. And confidence doesn't come before action. It's built through it. The ones who rise above aren't the ones with the best luck or the easiest start. They're the ones who decided to make progress even when it was hard, even when they didn't feel like it, even when nothing around them seemed to be working. So how do you do it? How do you keep moving forward when life pushes back? When the results are slow, the emotions are heavy, and the spark is missing? You learn how to make progress your habit, not your mood. This isn't about hype. It's about real tools, practical shifts that help you squeeze growth out of even the toughest days. Because progress at its core is a decision. And once you understand how momentum works, once you master how to activate it daily, you become unstoppable. Let's begin with one crucial truth. Stop negotiating with yourself. The moment you wake up and start asking, should I hit snooze? Or can this wait until tomorrow? You've already handed your power away. Successful people don't debate with their own mind. They don't wait for a feeling. They've trained themselves to do what's required, regardless of the emotion. Why? Because the brain loves comfort. It will always try to protect you from discomfort by giving you excuses dressed up as logic. The first decision of your day shapes the rest of it. Win your morning, and you build momentum. Lose it, and you invite distractions. So how do you win? You make certain behaviors non-negotiable, not up for discussion, not based on your mood, just part of who you are. You wake up when you said you would. You move your body even when you're tired. You work on your vision even when no one is clapping for you. Over time, this does something powerful. It builds self-respect. And that's the secret most overlook. Real confidence isn't about talent or charisma. It's about trusting yourself to follow through. Most people don't. They've broken promises to themselves so often they no longer believe their own intentions. But that trust can be rebuilt brick by brick. Every time you keep a small promise, you prove to yourself, I do what I say I'll do. And that proof, it changes everything. That's where momentum is born. One of the biggest lies people believe is this. If you can't do something perfectly, don't do it at all. That mindset kills progress faster than failure ever could. Life isn't perfect. Your energy won't always be at 100%. Your schedule won't always be wide open. Waiting for ideal conditions is just another way of staying stuck. The truth is, something is always better than nothing. 10 minutes of effort beats 0. A single step forward beats standing still. The goal is never perfection. It's movement. Think about it like this. If you improved by just 1% each day, the growth wouldn't be linear. It would compound. In 1 year, you wouldn't be 365% better. You'd be more than 7 times better. That's the power of steady improvement. Every action you take builds upon the last, creating a wave that becomes hard to stop. But you have to start. You have to stop waiting for the stars to align and start using what you've got. Right here, right now. Let's say you only have 5 minutes. Use it. Do a short workout, make one call, write down one goal. What matters is that you took action. Every small effort trains your brain to keep moving. Momentum is like a muscle. The more you activate it, the easier it becomes to use. And that movement, it starts shifting your identity. You go from someone who tries to someone who does. That subtle shift can change the course of your entire life. But there's something else that steals your progress, and it's not what most people think. It's focus, or more accurately, a lack of it. See, your mind is like a spotlight. Whatever you shine it on begins to grow. Most people waste energy focusing on everything that's wrong. what they don't have, what went wrong, what might go wrong. And all that attention, it drains you. But when you flip the switch, when you start focusing on what you can do, what is working, what you control, everything changes. People who make daily progress aren't lucky. They're focused. They don't chase distractions. They don't argue with limitations. They find a way to move forward, no matter how small. And that mindset builds strength, because when you put your attention on action instead of obstacles, you stop being a victim and start becoming a creator. Your energy shifts. Your results shift. And suddenly, things that felt impossible start to feel inevitable. Now let's address one of the most silent killers of momentum, hesitation. Every time you pause too long to overthink, doubt creeps in. You miss your window. You let fear disguise itself as logic. You start analyzing so much that you end up doing nothing at all. Sound familiar? We've all been there. But here's how you break that pattern. Shrink the gap between decision and action. Don't wait. Don't overplan. If you know what you need to do, do it. Count down from 5 if you have to, then move. Fast action beats perfect plans every time. And here's a powerful truth to remember. Action builds confidence, not the other way around. You don't wait until you feel brave. You act, and bravery follows. You don't wait until you're ready. You act, and readiness grows with the process. Everything you want in life is on the other side of discomfort. Just like a rocket burns its fuel to break through the atmosphere, your greatest energy is spent at liftoff. But once you're moving, the journey becomes lighter, easier, even exciting. Let's talk about what really carries you through the hard days. It's not motivation, it's discipline. Motivation is like a spark. Nice when it shows up, but far too unreliable to build your life on. Discipline is the long-burning fuel. It doesn't care how you feel. It only cares what you do. The truth is, feelings come and go. They're unpredictable. But the habits you build through discipline, those stay with you. Discipline starts with one powerful habit, keeping your word to yourself. Every time you say, "I'll do it," and follow through, you build strength. Not just physical strength, but mental integrity. And over time, that creates something most people lack, inner trust. See, most people are strong at keeping promises to others, but break them when it comes to themselves. And that's where self-doubt begins. That's where progress dies. Not from failure, but from inconsistency and broken self-trust. You want to change your life? Start by keeping your smallest promises. Wake up when you say you will. Move when you said you would. Follow through on one small task today, because those small wins compound into massive progress. Repetition is your greatest ally. The first few times you push through discomfort, it feels like a battle, but after a while it becomes automatic. The same way brushing your teeth or tying your shoes isn't hard anymore, it's just part of who you are. But what happens on the days when energy is low? When distractions pile up, when your mind starts throwing excuses? That's when you must learn to separate emotions from decisions. Most people act based on how they feel. If they don't feel like showing up, they don't. If the mood isn't right, they wait. But the people who succeed the most, they act on commitment, not on emotion. They've trained themselves to do what needs to be done, regardless of how they feel. Progress isn't about doing what's convenient. It's about doing what's necessary. Some days it's going to be hard. That's not a sign to stop. That's a sign that you're building resilience. Because success doesn't come from the days when everything is easy. It comes from the days you showed up anyway, when the conditions weren't perfect, when you were tired or overwhelmed or discouraged, but you acted anyway. So here's the mindset shift. Treat your actions like non-negotiables. Just like breathing or eating. You don't ask yourself if you're in the mood to breathe, you just do it. That's the level of commitment that transforms your life. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about building the habit of forward motion, even if the steps are small, even if they feel uncomfortable. Because every step builds momentum, and that momentum carries you through the moments when motivation disappears. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in one day. That idea, it's what paralyzes most people. The truth is, progress thrives on simplicity. You don't need 50 goals. You need one clear direction. Most people aren't lazy. They're just scattered. They start the day with no target, no plan, just hoping they'll figure it out. But you can't hit a target you don't have. You can't make daily progress if you don't know what you're aiming at. Start here. Define your goals clearly. Be specific. Not, I want to get better, or I want to be successful. Instead, say, I will walk for 20 minutes today. I will write 1 page. I will reach out to 3 clients. Specific goals create focus, and focus builds momentum. Without direction, your effort gets diluted. But with a clear path, every step compounds. Every small action becomes part of something bigger. Next, track your effort, not just the outcome. Why? Because outcomes can take time, and that delay discourages people. But your daily actions, you control those. You may not control when the breakthrough comes, but you control whether you showed up, whether you gave your best today, and that's the difference between frustration and fulfillment. Track your actions, and you'll start to see progress where others only see delays. Now let's talk about your environment. Most people think success is about willpower. It's not. It's about setting yourself up to win. You can have all the right intentions, but if your surroundings pull you backward, you'll struggle. If your space is full of clutter, your mind feels cluttered. If you're surrounded by negativity and excuses, it starts to shape how you think. So you have to take control of your space, your habits, and your influences. If you want to read more, leave a book where you can see it. If you want to eat better, stock your kitchen with real food. If you want to focus more, clear your workspace of distractions. Don't just hope for better results. Build a system that supports them. Progress isn't about fighting against everything around you. It's about designing a life that naturally moves you forward. And finally, we've got to talk about your energy, because time management is useless without energy management. If you're running on empty, nothing flows. You might sit at your desk for hours and get nothing done. Your mindset may be strong, but if your body's exhausted, progress feels like a battle. So ask yourself, what fuels you? What drains you? Look at your sleep, your food, your movement, your mental space. These aren't extra things. They're foundational. Even small tweaks matter. More water, less screen time, a 10-minute walk, deep breathing, a better bedtime routine. These simple habits might not seem revolutionary, but they create the energy you need to stay sharp, strong, and focused. If you want to make progress every day, your energy isn't optional, it's your engine. Protect it, recharge it, and build your life around sustaining it. Let's be real. Life isn't always smooth. Even with the best plans, you'll face resistance. Setbacks will come. Some days will knock you off course. But progress isn't about avoiding hard moments. It's about how quickly you get back on track. Miss a workout, show up tomorrow. Lose focus today, reset tonight. One bad moment doesn't have to spiral into a bad week. That's how winners operate. They don't let short-term slips turn into long-term stories. Remember, progress isn't just about taking action. It's about alignment. You can be working nonstop and still be going nowhere if your direction is off. Like paddling a boat upstream, exhausting yourself but staying stuck. So pause and ask yourself, are your daily actions aligned with the future you want? Are you busy or are you building? This one question can change everything, because not all action is progress. The goal isn't just to move, it's to move towards something meaningful. And that clarity comes from reflection. Successful people don't rush blindly. They check their course. They stop and think, is what I'm doing today taking me where I want to go? You should too. You don't need hours, just a few quiet minutes. Think of it like adjusting your steering wheel while driving. It keeps you from drifting. It keeps your effort aligned. Because if you don't check in, you risk ending up far from the destination you had in mind. Now here's something often overlooked. Rest, that's right, real rest. Strategic recovery. You can't grind nonstop and expect to stay strong. Just like a muscle grows during recovery, so does your mind, your creativity, your endurance. Rest isn't weakness. It's preparation. Don't wear burnout like a badge. Instead, build cycles of push and pause. Rest refuels you so you can go further, not just faster. If you want to be in this for the long game, you need stamina. And stamina is built through smart recovery. Let's go one layer deeper. Contribution. One of the most powerful accelerators of personal growth is helping someone else grow. When you teach, share, support, you don't just give, you reinforce your own growth. It deepens your knowledge. It sharpens your mindset. You become a living example of what's possible. Just like a candle loses nothing by lighting another, you lose nothing by lifting others. In fact, you gain purpose, and with purpose comes even more drive to grow. And now, the most important mindset of all, gratitude. Because if you're always chasing what's missing, you'll feel like you're never enough. But when you appreciate the small wins, when you pause to say, I'm proud of what I did today, you fuel your soul. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It reminds you that even slow progress is still progress, that you're not where you were yesterday, and that's a win. So here's the truth. Progress is not about being perfect. It's about being committed. It's not about moving fast. It's about moving forward. One step at a time, every single day. Because your future isn't waiting for you to feel ready. It's waiting for you to decide. Decide to start. Decide to stay consistent. Decide to rise again, no matter what. You don't need another motivational video. You don't need another plan. You already know what you need to do. The question is, will you do it? Because your life doesn't change from what you think about. It changes from what you do. So move today, not tomorrow, not when it's easy. Now, one step forward. That's the standard. That's the habit. That's the key. And remember, progress is not a destination. It's a decision you make every single day.